Hello everyone, I'm Jack Fisher. Welcome to my world and welcome to this quick react video about the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer. Now, full disclosure, this is not scripted. I'm just talking into my mic, so I'm going to stutter, I'm going to sound a little off, but I can't help it. It's because the excitement with this trailer has definitely got me worked up. I was thinking of maybe scripting something else out so that I could share, some speculation and some theories, but I didn't want to take the time. I wanted to react to this now while it's still fresh because this was definitely a highlight, even before the Super Bowl. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of rumors about this movie in terms of who's in it, who's going to be guest starring, because we knew from the start that this was going to definitely be this was going to tie into the multiverse. This was going to somehow bring Deadpool into the MCU. It was going to bring Wolverine back with Hugh Jackman, but we just didn't know some of the specifics. Well, now we got our first taste, and I gotta say, it has definitely raised my expectations. This teaser definitely established some stakes here. It kind of starts off with we get a sense that Deadpool is in a good place when things begin, which is par for the course of what's happened with the previous movies. Usually, when these movies start, it kind of follow a structure in that Deadpool has kind of found himself in a decent place in terms of where he is, and he's still a degenerate. He's still he's still a mess, but he's fairly content. But then, something comes along, whether it was get his cancer diagnosis or whether it was his enemies coming after his loved ones. It all kind of just goes to hell really fast. But this trailer took it to another level. So the substance here is actually pretty is pretty overt. You see Deadpool surrounded by a bunch of it's like the whole cast from Deadpool 2 is back. Vanessa is back, Colossus is there, Negasonic is there along with her girlfriend. Everyone is, and even everyone is kind of surrounding Deadpool. Is surrounded by all the people he cares about. It seems like everything is so nice, and then suddenly he gets a visit from the TVA, which, if you've been watching Loki, you know why that's a big deal. And this was already something that was highly speculated upon, that Deadpool was going to interact with the TVA, and that's going to be sort of how he makes his way into the MCU. But after seeing this, I do kind of have just seeing this. It does sort of. It did kind of spark my curiosity, my excitement, and also some theories, because if you saw Deadpool 2, you saw how it ended, you saw how the post-credit scene unfolded, you saw Deadpool took Cable's time travel gear, and he started going back in the past and messing things up. He prevented Ryan Reynolds from doing Green Lantern. He killed Barakapool, the most hated iteration of Deadpool ever to exist. And there's been iterations of Deadpool that are just a floating zombie head. So that should give you an idea of what the multiverse is like with him. But yeah, he did all sorts of interesting shenanigans. So my immediate theory here is that this sort of thing caught the attention of the TVA. They clearly, whenever someone travels in time and tries to disrupt things, they take notice. That's what happened with Loki. Deadpool is a lot more overt about it. So this setup, it kind of leads me to believe that either he's used that time device to kind of create sort of this ideal set situation for him where he doesn't have to be Deadpool. He can just be, he still looks like a giant tumor, but he can still, he doesn't have to put on the suit and do jobs that create enemies that come after his loved ones. He can just sort of live a less explosive life. But the TVA sees what he did, and they say, oh, well, we can't do this. We can't have our timelines being disrupted like this. Another possibility is that they see that he has traveled through time. He does seem to have an awareness of the timelines, and maybe they want to use him to fix something in the MCU timeline, because that would actually fit in nicely with how Loki played out, because at the end of season 2, Loki basically had to stitch together the diverging multiverse by himself, and that may have provided some temporary stability, but that stability might not have lasted long. We know Kang is still out there, and we know Secret Wars is still coming, so someone is going to come along to mess up the multiverse again. And now that Loki is kind of, he's already done his thing. He's holding things together from where he is in Yggdrasil. I don't know if I pronounced that right. But now they need someone else, and who better than Deadpool? Someone who has messed with the timeline before. And I feel like what they're going to try to do is they think maybe if they can, at first they're going to try to entice him into, hey, look at this Marvel Cinematic Universe. Look at all these heroes that you can rub elbows with. And, he's, at one point, they say, oh, well, if you work with us, we can fix this timeline. And you could basically he calls himself Marvel Jesus at one point, which I thought was hilarious. And some, it might be a little, a bit of a meta statement too, because people are saying, oh, this movie will save the MCU. I don't think it really needs saving but at the same time, the hype around this movie is probably higher than I've seen since Endgame. And I think Reynolds is kind of aware of that. And because a lot of people have been waiting for a long time for Deadpool or other X-Men characters to show up in the MCU. And well, this trailer basically sets it up. We see Deadpool putting on that famous suit again. We see him, looks like he's entering the MCU. There's some interesting shots of what looks like the 20th Century Fox logo being destroyed, which might symbolize, something's happening to the Fox universe. We see him, fighting, it looks like TVA agents, or maybe they could be some kind of rogue faction. And this is kind of where some speculation comes in, because I actually have kind of two conflicting theories here after seeing this trailer. One theory is that Deadpool is working with the new character is Matthew McFadden. He looks like he's the one who's from the TV who's talking to Deadpool. Now, I've seen some people online call him, he might be Mr. Paradox, or I don't know if that's that's just a rumor. That's not confirmed, but he's the one who's kind of tempting Deadpool with say, hey, here's the MCU, come with us. You'll have a chance to fix it, or you have a chance to be a part of it. And or maybe that part of the theory, he's going to pretend to help Deadpool, and he's going to try to say, hey, you can have everything you want if you just help us, because we can't have you messing with the timeline like you did in your universe. But if you help us here, we'll let you go back to all this wonderful life that you've created for yourself. And he agrees. He said he gets to be. He doesn't like, Deadpool does not like being a hero in either of the movies. So the idea that he's going to, he might want to save that life, and he might have to pay a price for it. That's something that it's very in keeping with the themes of the Deadpool movies. But another theory I have is that. I think maybe Matthew McFadden, because he did such a good job in Succession, kind of being a nefarious villain type. I think he might actually be. My theory is he's part of a rogue faction in the TVA, because we see throughout the trailer he does fight what look to be TVA agents, but they don't look like the same agents we saw in Loki. So perhaps maybe McFadden, might be some sort of rogue agent who is trying to. The TVA is kind of in this weird state after what happened with Loki, and maybe he's trying to, assert himself, or maybe become the new head of the TVA, which would, of course, put him into conflict with Kang, and that could, and if he's going to use Deadpool's not going to like that. He doesn't like being used, and he could prompt Deadpool to. Maybe that's what exactly prompted him to seek out Wolverine. I could see him maybe stealing one of the TVA's time pads and going to another universe, or maybe back to the old Fox universe, to find Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Now, we do see actually some hints of. Now, he doesn't show up in his full Wolverine glory yet, but which is to be expected. This is a teaser trailer. This is just to get us excited, and yeah, I think it succeeded in that regard. But I think the reason why the reason why. Deadpool would seek out Wolverine is he can't beat the TVA by himself. It's whether McFadden is part of this rogue faction, or whether it's he needs his help because something's happened, something's going very, very wrong, and that's kind of leads me into another theory. I think one other possibility is that there's already an incursion being setting up. And that incursion might be what triggers Secret Wars. And perhaps McFadden's character will say, your universe is about to be destroyed. If you don't do anything, everything you love is going to be gone. But and of course, Deadpool, he wants to save his universe, and he finds out his universe, the Fox universe, is about to have an incursion with with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, with that universe, or the sacred timeline, as the TVA calls it. They say, look, help us out. Maybe we can help. We can preserve this life you've made for yourself. But he finds out that that's not going to be easy. Maybe again, there could be other forces against him, and this is actually where we get a very, very brief glimpse of Emma Corrin's character. Some people thought this was Patrick Stewart, Xavier, and he is on the IMDb page. You do think he's probably going to show up, but Emma Corrin, I think most people think she's going to be playing Cassandra Nova. Now, if you don't know much about Marvel lore, Cassandra Nova is actually Charles Xavier's fraternal twin sister, who in the comics, she quote unquote died in the womb when before she was born, but her mind survived. So she's been a villain for a good chunk of X-Men comic history. She did kind of change out recently, but I can see her as maybe she could be someone who's trying to, like, maybe in her universe, she either died or her universe was destroyed, and she's trying to find a new universe or reshape others, and maybe she's somehow colluding with McFadden's character. But one way or another, Cassandra Nova is going to play a part, and I suspect she will complicate both the TVA and Deadpool and Wolverine's plot, because Cassandra Nova throughout the comics has always been someone who, she's kind of she likes doing things for herself. She's very much she is not a very heroic character. She never does anything selfless unless there's some sort of indirect benefit. So that's kind of that is kind of my theory. Either the TVA, there's a rogue faction in the TVA, or Cassandra Nova is somehow manipulating the TVA or doing some sort of disruption that's causing a lot of damage to Deadpool's universe, and maybe the TVA is saying, hey, we'll transfer you and your loved ones to the MCU, or we'll try to save part of your universe. But one way or another, I think Deadpool and Wolverine, as it's now called, some people are still going to calling it Deadpool 3, but I think this movie is going to be a precursor to Secret Wars. Now, a lot of people have already pointed out, if you see the last shot of the trailer, there's a small hint of the old Secret Wars comic is laying next to Deadpool. So this might set the stage for, I think Secret Wars could be the final incursion between the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Fox universe, which will create new opportunities for some old school Fox X-Men characters to show up. We do know that we get a glimpse of Aaron Stanford. Now, if you don't remember him, he played Pyro in the original X-Men trilogy. So we already know he's going to be there. So if he's there, then that means there's a good chance a bunch of other characters from the Fox universe show up. Whether it's Patrick Stewart, we don't know. There's been rumored that James Marsden might show up, Famke Janssen might show up. We don't know if Halle Berry is going to show up as Storm, or Ian McClellan's Magneto. These are all just rumors. This is a teaser trailer. We don't know much, but there's a lot to digest here, and there's so much to get excited about. And I'm definitely going to be seeing this on opening night, and I have a feeling that depending on how well it goes, maybe it might set the stage for Hugh Jackman to play Wolverine again in Secret Wars, or maybe some other characters from the Fox Marvel universe. Jennifer Garner is listed on the IMDb page. She could show up. Who knows? Maybe Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man would show up. You already saw him in No Way Home. Why not have him in Secret Wars? But this is definitely going to be a movie that shakes things up for the MCU in a major way, and not just because it's kind of might be the only MCU movie we get in 2024, but this is certainly going to get the X-Men and the Fox side of things going for Marvel, which, they've been kind of dormant ever since the Disney-Fox merger. And I couldn't be more excited about this movie. This trailer definitely met and exceeded my expectations. I'm sure more theories will come out. Some people might have caught a few things that I might have missed, because I watched these trailers multiple times, and it always seems like you miss something. But I guess we'll find out soon enough. I look forward to seeing Hugh Jackman in his full-fledged Wolverine outfit. I look forward to hopefully seeing some more Fox X-Men, whether it's Magneto, Cyclops, Storm, whoever, and maybe even some new characters. I'd love to see how Cassandra Nova is in this movie. But yeah, there's so much to look forward to. I can't wait. So I'll be sure to keep checking in. I'm sure I'll have other videos, and maybe I'll talk about it in some live streams. But yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine is coming out later this summer, and yeah, definitely this trailer has certainly built on the hype. So keep posted for more info, more speculation, more crazy theories and reactions. So I will certainly be keeping an eye out for any more news that I find of note. So again, thank you very much for this little quick react video. Thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to doing more. So yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine coming out this July. I'm ready. So thanks again, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thanks for joining me in my world. And until next time, take care and stay safe.